face. And I do think people in that moment had to have seen Biden's character, and Trump is just kicking up dust, as you said.
Yeah. And we're gonna, in a couple of minutes, we're gonna turn to a little bit more. We got to talk about COVID, but then we're going to talk about who we think won. But first, the super chats. Amelia Jane was first, saying, voted against McConnell for the 4th time in my life this morning. Doubtful, but fingers crossed it works this time. Much love from Louisville. Thank you, Amelia. It does look doubtful, but you did what you can. So thank you for that. Mandy M says, my favorite TDR day. Love Brett and Garbage People. And I just got my TDR shirt. What an awesome Friday. Love you guys. Thank you, Mandy. That's awesome. Guapo says, wake up Johnny Pie and put down that caffeinated drink, smoke some sativa and rock and roll. There's an egg cooking appliance. That's funny. Okay, a guy from chat said, Biden's campaign slogan for the next 10 days should just be gestures broadly. When he says anything about COVID response, financial disclosures, state our country, the economy, anything Trump says, just like, yeah, look at what's going on. Becca from the Lou Gould says, my first super chat, love John and Brett Fridays. Got my Dragon Squad tee just in time to wear while watching the debate. It's awesome. I think it is.
Glad you got it, John. I filled out the same damn form you did, and I haven't gotten anything. I
got mine like 5 days ago.
There's multiple. It's funny, like I'm fine. I'm glad that that's the situation. I think I said it on like the Sunday Twitch stream that I do here, which is like, I'm glad that other people are getting their stuff before me. Like it means that the system is working in a way that does not reek of corruption.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah. Let's see. Over on Twitch, Kelly June says, yesterday was my husband's 60th birthday. Could you guys please call out his name when you can? I'm a very lucky woman to have him in my life. I don't know his name, but you know who you are. Happy birthday. And thank you, Kelly June, for letting me know. Kelly June's husband, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
F. Harvey sent in a super chat saying, Catharsis Friday, the Cats thing and Brett's reaction, priceless. My 2IT family is what's keeping me hanging on. Love from France. Thank you. Appreciate the super chat. Okay, Joe Van Thompson says, thank you, John and Brett, for a laugh to the point that I was tearing up. Keep up the amazing work, Dragon Squad. Well, we're glad we're able to make your day a little bit brighter. Jonathan, thank you for your super chat as well. Nathan says, John, do you play Magic the Gathering? You used Trample and it sparked my curiosity. Yes, Nathan, I do. Maybe I'll stream that at some point. But anyway, we've got one more important topic that has to do with the debate. John, that's really more about the current state of the country. But
speaking of hunter gatherers, is there a Magic the Hunting?
They're gonna set aside this gathering thing, and they're gonna just go with the hunting soon.
Is there a Magic the advanced irrigation system so they don't have to hunt and gather as much? Do they have that? Is Magic ever gonna put cataracts in the Nile? I don't know if that's what it is.
I don't know if that's what it is. Anyway, okay, so let's jump back into this because my God, time is passing quick. Okay, we're not gonna get through all these videos, I apologize. The topic of the pandemic came up because we're in a pandemic, people. It should obviously be talked about the debate. How is that not a bigger topic of discussion? It's still here, it hasn't gone away. But anyway, they did talk about it. And here is Trump once again reassuring you that it's almost gone.
If in fact, at Social Security, if in fact he continues to withhold his plan to withhold the tax on Social Security, Social Security will be bankrupt by 2023 with no way to make up for it. This is the guy who's tried to cut Medicare. So the idea that Donald Trump is lecturing me on Social Security and Medicare, come on.
Yeah, there was some sort of miscommunication there. But anyway, look, he went on during the debate talking about it'll soon be gone. Again, we're rounding the corner. He keeps saying this. He's talking about how many goggles we've made, I guess. And look, Biden did a good job of pointing out this is the guy that said it'd be gone by Easter. This is the guy who said the cases will be down to 0. This is the guy who said it'll be gone by the summer. And yet, it's not looking like that's the case. The US set a record Thursday as the number of new coronavirus cases rose to over 77,000, topping the previous record in July. Nationwide, we had 77,640 new cases. The daily tally comes as the total number of coronavirus cases in the country has reached nearly 8.5 million, with over 224,000 deaths. There were 921 deaths reported just yesterday, right near 1,000 again and again and again and again, day after day, months of 1,000 roughly people dying every day. It was horrific the first time it happened 7 months ago, and it should be just as horrific with every day that we reach that mark. And he says it'll soon be gone. Take a look at the chart. This is cases. You remember that second wave after the 4th of July? Yeah, we're about to hit that same peak again. When you look at the news, when you talk to people, does it feel like we are? I feel like people really have moved on. Certainly Trump is long gone. He doesn't care at all about what those numbers mean or how deaths are certainly gonna rise again as they did during the second part of the first wave. But yeah, we're entering right into the third part, Brett.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. He doesn't want any responsibility to take any responsibility for this. He, instead of fixing it, he wants you to basically pretend like it's not a problem. That is horrible. That is so horrible, and that is giving up, and that is defeatist, or that's defeated, and that is losing, and that is not American. Americans fight. We fight for stuff. We fight to win. He is giving up, and he is losing to a virus. Yep. And every step of the way, he has bungled it. Slow the testing down. And there's someone retweeted the moment that even in the debate, Kristen Welker says Trump says he was kidding during it. Like you have to say that. No, I rewatched that moment where he said, let's get some UV light in people's veins. Let's inject bleach as a way of cleaning. He was not kidding. This is the same guy that says we really need the voice of the demon semen doctor. This is Trump, who now is attacking Anthony Fauci, who is an expert. And his attack line on Biden is Biden will listen to scientists. It's not that hard, man. And something you're not losing by going along with someone who knows more than you. Is that what he thinks it is? Is his ego really that fragile that if he says, let's do what scientists are saying, or at least factoring it into our behavior, it's ridiculous. No, he has decided that he would rather have a high stock market by hinting that there's going to be a bailout, which isn't even his responsibility. People have faith that Wall Street has faith that after this, Pelosi and Trump will finally come around on some kind of, and McConnell will come around on some kind of stimulus because they have to. They think they'll be fine, but he thinks that he has to make some kind of economic and poorly framed civil rights argument against coronavirus, which is killing people left and right. I think one of the strongest moments of the debate last night was when Biden said, no, people aren't learning to live with it, they're learning to die with it.
Yeah, that was a great line. And I will just say again, something I've said, I don't know, 35 times on the show since it happened. When Trump said the bleach thing and the UV light thing, their defense was he was just kidding. And as I will say, as horrendous and scary and deeply disturbing it is that the president could be so stupid and have such little knowledge of science or medicine that he could say it seriously, it is objectively worse after tens of thousands of Americans have died for him to joke about injecting bleach. Anybody watching this has lost a friend or a family member, I'm sure feels the same way. It's not funny. It's not funny at all. We have debates about when something is too soon. I would argue when we were halfway through the current death count, too soon probably, when people are dying. People are dying as he was saying that. It's not funny. It's not funny. I'm not a professional comedian or anything, but not really funny.
But he wants you to think that he's an expert, and he still during the debate was saying things like, "Oh, I think we've got some fixes for this. I think it hurts people this way and that way. No one's ever seen it." Like at this point, those moments, and there are a lot of moments that I think, even the underdeveloped people who don't pay a lot of attention to politics pick up when Trump vaguely describes something sort of about the law. There were moments where Biden says, no, here's a fact about the law he's talking about, and then explains the law and the terms. That's someone I want who has some working knowledge of any of this. And Trump's been not working, and he doesn't have knowledge.
Yeah, and he likes to say that he learned a lot from having had coronavirus, but I believe that honestly, whatever he had learned was taken out of his brain as his brain swelled from the fever. Yeah, he falsely claimed antibody treatment is a cure. He falsely claimed that he's now immune. He falsely claimed that kids aren't transmitting the disease to teachers. He misled about the timeline for a vaccine. He falsely claimed that the spikes in Florida, Texas, and Arizona are gone. He lied and he lied and he lied and he lied and he lied. That's what he did. That was the president in his last bid to convince an incredibly skeptical public that does not fundamentally doesn't trust him on this pandemic. That is how he tried to win their support once again, and I am fairly confident that it was a failure. But let's turn now to the evidence to that. We had our debate last night, and since this is the last debate we're gonna have, it's the last big scheduled thing in the election. Obviously, stuff can happen. The question was, who won and will it matter? Will this actually shake up the race? And almost immediately I thought, oh my God, it might, because I saw Charlie Kirk. He tweeted the first instant poll shows 97% think Trump won. Now, yes, he did say that immediately after the first debate, and it turned out to be totally true. So totally untrue. So I'm sure he's being more careful this time. And it was buttressed though with Donald Trump tweeting out this: who won? Trump was at 96%. That might have been the poll Charlie Kirk was talking about. Now you'll notice there that the words "who won" are in bold, which is what happens when Twitter is showing you the terms you searched for. And he tweeted out many of those, and "who won" was bolded in all of them. So he was a thirsty, desperate person following the debate. But it turned out that a Twitter poll from the Blaze isn't necessarily as methodologically rigorous approach to polling as you might think it is. Because CNN with SRS actually did a real poll, and 53% said Joe Biden won, 39% said Donald Trump won. There was a second poll by a progressive firm, Data for Progress, again doing an actual poll, not a website thing or a Twitter thing. 52% said Biden won, 41% said that they thought that Trump won. We have YouGov, 54% think Joe Biden won, 35% think Donald Trump was victorious. Those are roughly in line with each other. A narrow win for Biden, not that dissimilar from the national polling, honestly, those two numbers.
Yeah, Trump lost the debate. Any reasonable human being who's not doing all the BS. And it's tough. I think the difference between Democrats or people on the left and people on the right is people on the right are fine with being jerks and disingenuous, generally. Like that has been, that's okayed inside them. I'm talking about like political figures and media personalities. They're fine with just being disingenuous, obviously wrong jerks. That thing that bothers us when the evidence doesn't support our argument doesn't bother them. They know that it's all an act. They know it's all a charade. They know that it's all about messaging people nonstop, constantly, and reinforcing each other's BS to the point where all you've seen is the same message, so it must be true. That bothers us, and we want to back it up with actual polls, with actual evidence. And we'll tell you when something doesn't fit in with a narrative we've created. This is not that. This is Trump losing, and then him desperately logging into his Twitter account with the password we found out, MAGA 2020 exclamation point. Did you hear that one? Someone hacked into his account because his password was MAGA 2020 exclamation point, which is a step up from the previous time he was hacked when his password was "you're fired." This guy's an idiot, but that's it. And he has exposed the vulnerability near the exhaust port, and he's just gone hard in it.
I approve of that last reference there. Yeah, you're 100% right. My God, his passwords. Now, as a demonstration of what you were just saying, that we actually care about what's true, we gave you the numbers. That's the best information we have right now, but I will add context to it. That's literally the only thing I'm here to do. The gap between Biden and Trump in that was closer than in the first debate. So it appears that Biden won, but it also appears that Trump did better relative to Biden than he did in the first debate. And if we could jump ahead to the last graphic, the Frank Luntz thing, maybe this is an explanation of potentially why. His focus group words to describe Trump include controlled, reserved, poised, con artist, surprisingly presidential, Words to describe Biden: vague, unspecific, elusive, defensive, grandfatherly. I mean, those first four were obviously about Trump. I don't understand exactly how they came away with that thought that Trump was whiny and emotional and he was spitting out conspiracy theories. But you mentioned the CNN undecided poll or panel. 9 of those chose Biden afterwards, 0 Trump, and 2 weren't sure. So maybe Frank Lentz's focus group wasn't necessarily as, oh, there you're seeing, by the way, that 70% of voters liked the muting of the mics too. So maybe this will help Trump a tiny little bit in comparison to a failure like the first debate, but this does not seem like the sort of result that's gonna massively swing polls in the next few days.
When I see those Frank Luntz focus group words, all I see is proof that Trump is such a failure and was such a petulant brat during the first debate that what we saw yesterday, comparatively speaking, was controlled, reserved, and poised. He was still an idiot.
Yeah.
He still rambled. None of what he said made sense when put together. He was still flailing, but he has lowered the bar so low that compared to the rambling wreck that he was the first time around, this was not so terrible by comparison.
Yeah, maybe. He did better, I guess, than I would have expected. His strategy of just implying tons of illegal stuff about Biden as a last, like Hail Mary, maybe that'll help a little bit. I don't know, but they've been trying to do that. Anyway, okay, couple of quick super chats before we move on to our next story. Hey, by the way, Brett, do you have access to this document?
Which document? The one that you used to pull
right
things
now.
from?
Yes, but you might have the old one. I'm emailing you this right now for a little bit later on. Cody Mitchell sent us in a super chat saying, please investigate Facebook putting people in permanent review. The toll on isolation is unbearable. I'm not actually familiar with that, Cody, but thank you for telling me about that. Brett, does that ring a bell for you?
I was too busy opening your email.
Okay, well, I will look into it, Cody. Thank you.
What was the question? Say it again.
Facebook putting people in permanent review.
Oh, I have not heard of that.
I have not, but I will.
I know that I tried to read. I had a joke about an article, and I tried to retweet it on Twitter without clicking through to the article. And Twitter now has a thing like, you can read the article first if you want. Are you sure you want to retweet it without reading it? I thought that was great. I was like, busted.
Yeah, I like it. And I like that they prompt you to add something to your retweet. I think that that's a good call. You don't have to, but I think it's a good call. Okay, Matthew Tartoria says, have recurring testicular cancer with the world's most painful chronic pain disorder, CRPS, that no one knows about. Because of that, I can't get proper treatment and the CRPS has spread to both kidneys. Matthew, I'm really sorry to hear that. That sounds absolutely terrible. I'm really sorry.
Sorry.
Young Ellie Alley says, I need the Dragon Squad shirt if just for my heart D&D, though I love you too, John, JR, Francesca, and Brett, but I miss the John pillow of Brett's bed.
Isn't it there?
It's not a pillow of me. Yeah, it's there, but it's again not of me. Anyway,
John right here with the
it's not. I did the Dwight one. I did give them, but anyway, Mr. Bibliotecario says almost 12K watching. Hit like, y'all. That's a good point. Everybody, if you could hit the like button, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
Do this thing.
Tone Stowers says, I don't know about his knowledge of wind. Hot air for sure. Also, don't forget that windmill cancer. Totally. Yeah, I think I actually had something about that, but then we didn't end up getting to it. Anyway, okay, so we're getting a bit late in the game.
Just do it, John. Just do it. I don't care. I don't have anything to do.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Okay. We're gonna talk about this next story now. Oh, geez, we're farther behind than I thought. I forgot about that one.
Do it now, John.
Okay. We speculated yesterday about what Rudy Giuliani and the Borat movie was actually going to show. And the movie's now available. You can go see it. I'm gonna watch it probably later on tonight. But here is the actual scene that has driven so much news coverage between Rudy Giuliani and Borat's reporter. Oh my God. Oh God, I don't know what I expected, but
about it. So the specific creepy things that were the padding on the side I think there was a little extra stretching of how long he was lying down through the editing because there's two different angles.
Multiple angles, totally.
Of the same shot, I think. So I don't think he was spending that much time laying down on the bed on his back. I don't think that there's anything wrong with Rudy Giuliani and a reporter who is 20 whatever. He's single. Rudy and Judy are no longer together. I was happy to find out that Rudy's ex-wife is named Judy. Rudy and Judy Giuliani. Anyways, he's a single guy. What happens. But I do want to point out. So I want to get your reaction to this too. Like, what did you think before I give another point?
Really fast. I mean, look, yes, I think they definitely used the multiple angles to make it seem as if he was digging around in his pants longer than he was. You can still think that situation's not exactly. Giuliani is not saying what you're saying. I'm single, I can do whatever I want. He's saying there wasn't anything. And they're taking alcohol into the bedroom and he's patting her and they're taking each other's mics off. I'm not saying that definitely means anything. And he must have been suspicious, even as gullible and as old and deranged and bat-brained as he is. Like, she's very young and very beautiful and he is what he is. I don't know. I think that it gives you an impression that probably is not entirely accurate, but I don't think it's unfair to say that he wasn't asking for her phone number just because he wanted to do a follow-up about the interview or whatever.
Yes, I agree. That all makes sense. So here's the thing that no one's really talking about that is very important. As we all try to find ways, like everyone thinks this is just like fun and ridiculous, but there is something very specifically germane to Rudy Giuliani and his place in society right now that this exposes. Because Rudy Giuliani, according to people on the right, his one function is to go into former Soviet socialist republics and determine what's real and what's fake. And he was just had by Borat, the thing we know from a former Soviet socialist republic that is the most fake thing in the universe. This is Trump's cybersecurity advisor who had to go to a Genius bar to get his iPhone unlocked. This is a guy who accidentally uploaded video of him saying, doing like a fake generic Asian accent that was racist. But this is the guy that's going into the Ukraine and saying like, oh, this laptop is real. And he can't tell when he's going into a room with Borat? Are you kidding me? That is what people should be shouting from the rooftops. That's why this makes so much sense to come out right now. This isn't just like Borat, Rudy, weird stuff, don't pay attention to that. This is like a rebuttal to him saying, I got the laptop. Mm-hmm. And you shouldn't pay any attention to him. This is specifically that same part of the world geopolitically, and he failed at that. So no one should take anything that he does seriously.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. It kind of makes me wish that instead of going for the like sleazy angle, they had offered him like compromising information about Biden from like the Kazakh government wants to like help Donald Trump. That might have been better, I think. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, this isn't really news except insofar as you're pointing out, he is presenting himself as a credible person and such a credible person that when he and Steve Bannon team up and produce news, that should be what the election is basically decided on. That's what he wants you to believe. And meanwhile, he's been had by the Borat guy. Like that's,
dude.
Yeah, he's a joke.
I used to work with a guy that produced for Borat, and he was like, we just put up the same website for everyone, like for the Ali G, like all that stuff. He's like, he showed me the websites. There's like 3 of the same websites saying this is a real person, and that's it. Mm-hmm. And you'd be surprised how all these people want so desperately to be interviewed by someone cool. Or someone who, in this case, agrees with him. They're posing as a like Tommy Lahren type person, even though she has a very thick Eastern European accent. Yeah. But they want so desperately to be on TV. That's what it's about. It's not about anything else. And they play to their egos. And this should be much more focused on Rudy Giuliani's inability to speak the truth and detect the truth when versus lies when he's faced with it.
I agree. Well, anyway, there might be a little bit more to the scene. Maybe the movie is now available. You can watch it. That would be a good one to do a movie watch along. I think we could do it actually. I think it's one of those.
Yeah.
We should do that. Anyway, okay, so we've got one more topic before we get to our garbage people. My God, we're gonna go so late today. Brett, you've got the document. Can you do me a favor? Can you respond to some Twitch comments, super chats, things like that?
Yes, I will. I would like.
And I'll even say why. I forgot to get the printout for. No, that's not it. I forgot to get the paper that I'm gonna feed to Trashy. I'm gonna be able to hear you, by the way. I'm gonna be able to hear you.
Yeah.
I want you to bear in mind, I can hear everything you're saying.
Are you microphoned? Okay, I just want to make sure you're not wired in as you stand up and pull the entire display with you. Okay, great. So Desmeraldo just gifted 10 tier 1 subs. Thank you so much, Desmeraldo. Trima Batiki resubbed on Twitch. This is tier 3 for 3 months. Tier 3 gets you a lot of really awesome emotes. I think the Jenk Rage emote, as well as Charlie. You get to emote with Charlie. So thank you so much. Earlier we had a level 5 hype train. Heinrich Zimmerman resubscribed for 3 months on Prime. Everyone, as John was talking about, we do these watch parties. We have in the past, we might do them in the future, where essentially if you have Amazon Prime, then you sub with us and it's free for you to do that. And then you go and we watch movies together on Twitch. It's fantastic. We got a lot of stuff. Steph Mont, John's back, but that's not important. Skatari, Steph Mont, thank you so much. Steph Mont 12 got your Dragon Squad t-shirt. Hopefully it gets here soon. So I'm glad you ordered that. Everyone's doing great. That's it. It's gorgeous.
That's it. Okay.
And also,
thank you. I was able to get my paper.
Aesthetic. No, I'm not done. I got till 3 p.m. So the whole Dragon Squad, all those, the bright red on the Instagram and everything. It's so gorgeous. I love it. It's brooding. I'm digging it. John, are you back?
Yes, I've been back. I got my paper, thankfully. It was in the printer. Anyway.
Misty Bowers, thanks for the super chat. I was listening to Ben Dixon's morning show. They are new Dragon Squad fans, and we have made a present there, John. They want you to show up for them too. So I'm just saying, John, please take this.
What do I need to do?
Just treading. I don't know.
I've tried to take it like 5 times, and you keep taking it back. Anyway,
okay.
Pegasus. Sent a super chat saying Trump is like Mel Brooks in Spaceballs. And he is, his password. Does Trump have matched luggage? Anyway.
We joked about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, there you go. By the way, I noticed, and I guess maybe I'm behind by a little bit, but Obi-Wan Kenobi gifted 12 months of tier 1 membership to Sexy Melly B. She has given 1,054 gift subs in the channel. That's incredible. That is just incredible. There's a lot of people who are really good ambassadors, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're right up there at the top. Thank you so much for being such a good ambassador for the channel and for the show. Really do appreciate that. Over in the Twitch chat, Horrible says, Edwin's laugh is contagious. We miss Edwin's laugh in the studio. We get it so rarely these days. Okay, CA70S says, who shops at the Gap anymore, LOL? I don't know, I don't go to stores. Like, have you bought clothing during the pandemic? I haven't. What clothing do you wear these days? Nobody wears pants. Don't you just wear Dragon Squad t-shirts? I don't know. But anyway, hypothetically, someday we could buy clothes again.
I do want to say Progressive Canuck said, Brett, you look exhausted, bro. Take the opportunity of there not being a common room tonight and recharge, man. You've definitely earned it. Thank you and go F yourself. I look gorgeous.
You do. The lighting's great. The Rock L says, Jank asked last night, I have my own sets of questions. What is Dragon Squad? Haven't we explained Dragon Squad to him? I feel like people have explained it over and over. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
isn't it like a Proud Boys rebuttal?
It is basically. It's sort of roundabout. I think it might be the Boogaloo Boys that we were talking about, but yeah, it does have to do with that. Okay, so we are way over, and oh, by the way, can I say why I'm worried about us going so over? Normally, it's because we conduct interviews that get uploaded to the YouTube channel. We're not doing that today. Do you know why? Many people have been asking, when are you going to talk about the California ballot initiatives? And the time has come, but not on this program. So I'm gonna be going at 12 o'clock Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm gonna be appearing on Ida Rodriguez's show, Truth Serum, and we're gonna be breaking down the California ballot initiative. So if you go over to Truth Serum on YouTube, I tweeted about it, by the way, with a link. We're gonna be going over all of the California ballot initiatives. My recommendations, whether they're strong or weak, or I'm not entirely sure, the research I've done. So that's all gonna be available at Truth Serum. So if that's something you've been waiting for, go watch that. Ida's awesome. You should be watching her show anyway. It should be good. And that'll be happening a little bit later on. Okay, with that, let's go to our one more story before we get to garbage people, okay? This probably isn't really news, but there's a mystery in politics this week. What is going on with Mitch McConnell? This video from C-SPAN 2 was going around. We're gonna show you this picture. And a lot of people noticed that his hand seems to have something going on. And later on, when he had to stoop to pick up his mask, you could see a little bit more, and people zoomed in, and like he's got a bandage and his hand is obviously very discolored. Now, just the 12th of October, if we go to this next image, you're gonna see his hand looking like any normal, slightly older turtle paw. Like it just looks like it's supposed to. But now it looks very different. And it's probably just something medical, Brett, I assume. But he's been very evasive with reporters. They've asked if he's okay, if there's anything wrong. And he just says there's nothing. There's nothing. He doesn't say why it happened, why he's wearing bandages. What do you think?
There's a lot of ways to interpret this. My preferred interpretation is that somewhere in a castle is a rose, and every few years a petal falls off the rose. And when it finally falls off, he just disappears into goo. And there's only one petal left, John. Unless he learns how to love someone and be loved in return, he will just evaporate. And he has failed that. And it's showing physically that like there's just a little bit of one petal left on the rose, John. And he should have been nicer to that beautiful enchantress who appeared at his castle seeking shelter from a bitter storm.
Well, look, in his defense, the beautiful enchantress was dressed like a peasant girl. And they come from very different class backgrounds. Anyway, so if he only has moments left, who is he gonna try to convince to love him? It's not gonna be the voters of Kentucky. Like they might support him. I don't think they're in love.
There's only one Koch brother left. That would explain in basically the parts of his body that are battered and bruised are the same ones that he uses to pleasure big money donors. Oh, because it's also his mouth and his hand. Nope, I'm just saying.
We're not. Well,
John, anyway, this hand is hurt. This one is bruised and battered. And then
his other
hand
hand
is
too.
You have that last photo, you can see his mouth.
Let's bring up the last photo.
It's his mouth
he's got
too.
yellowing around his eyes.
That checks out.
Okay, well, anyway, here is what I have to assume. Like I would, like theories aside, he fell, I think. And people are saying blood thinners and stuff, potentially, but he didn't bruise his face. Like it could be some sort of blood thing. I think he just fell. And I guess maybe he doesn't want to seem frail or admit to weakness in the days before an election. That's just so stupid. Just admit that you fell. You're an older person. Older voters can probably understand that. That's a threat that they have to deal with. Just be real. He can't be real about a simple thing like taking a tumble.
Yeah, which he obviously did. The other explanation is, I don't know if other people have watched Lovecraft Country, but there is a guy who doesn't he have like grafted black man skin on his body so he doesn't die? That's what he's got. He's got a very like Jordan Peele allegory situation going on that's keeping him alive.
Exactly. Yeah, it's deep. It's a good metaphor for American race relations. But anyway, get better, buddy, and then retire. Get out of here because you're stopping much needed aid to the American people. Okay, Brett, with that, do you know what time it is? It's the time of the week where Trashy gets fed. I think we're ready to go, so I'm just gonna roll right into it. It's the end of the week, and so it's time to take out the trash. Okay, this was a super trashy week. The whole month, basically, you just throw the entire thing in the garbage. Mine, I found it very easy to pick. It came to me last night, and apparently Brett was feeling quite the same. So mine is going to be Megyn Kelly. Now, why Megyn Kelly? Well, first I'm gonna feed Trashy because he has been waiting for his meal for some time. There you go, buddy. There you go. She is garbage because she has such an obvious, transparent grift that's going on right now. You know, historically she's garbage for a lot of reasons, but here's the thing that caused her to go in Trashy's mouth today. She tweeted last night, Trump won this debate handily. Biden wasn't a force at all. Trump was substantive, on point, well-tempered, definitely helped himself when it mattered most. Somebody wants an interview.
Someone wants an internship. Like, that's how sad it is. It's like, I'll do anything. I'll take out the trash. So the full backstory on the garbage people today was I sent my graphics in to Sophie, Norma, and Marissa, and the response was too late. John already took it. So this is going to be my original garbage person. She has been on she tucked tail and went to MSNBC or NBC. Got a huge contract because that's NBC's jam right now. It worked out for Nicole Wallace. It did not work out for Megyn Kelly. So Megyn Kelly is licking toilets, and that's the only thing that I can describe it as. She is down there licking toilets to get back in the good graces of Fox News type fans.
Yeah, and look, I get it. If you had this huge, contract or whatever, and then you lost it, you want to get that back. There's gotta be a different way. Like there's a lot of bootlickers in media, but for Trump, considering your history with him, like it's so pathetic and see-through. The grift is so clear. There was a great response to her tweet by Patricia Arquette, who said, "Do you have windmill cancer? I'm getting concerned." To which she responded, "Nah, just don't suffer from Trump derangement syndrome and can still engage in fair analysis. You wouldn't understand." Which is, by the way, that's the last bit of the grift. The grift is saying what you need to say to get paid. The final part of the grift is saying that that's actually evidence that you're the one with the integrity after all. No, you're not. You want an interview with him or a show or to be hired back to Fox or something like that. That's what you want. And the reason I say that isn't just because what debate were you watching? You're saying objectively he definitely helped himself. The polls show that he didn't win. Like, you could have waited 5 minutes to find out that your take was not only self-serving and grifty, but it's also clearly wrong. And so to present yourself as the only one who's being fair, that everyone else, including the polls, have some sort of Trump derangement syndrome is just pathetic.
I couldn't help myself on this too, John, because I spent some time kicking around in her other tweets, just like you did. And good God, here is a video that we pulled of Megyn Kelly explaining the obstacle course you need to go through in order to download her podcast. And then her bragging about who she interviewed and the cool stories they're telling.
Hey guys, it's me, Megyn Kelly, and we've got a good show for you that we're gonna post tomorrow morning with Senator Ted Cruz. You're gonna like it. You gotta go to your podcast, search Megyn Kelly, I'll pop up, download, subscribe, and ideally rate it with 5 stars. But listen to Ted Cruz tell you about Chris Wallace and his new proposal for fair debates, whether he thinks Trump is gonna win, and that time he watched porn with Sandra Day O'Connor. Check it out, there's a link right here. See ya.
There's a link right here.
How the grifty have fallen.
It's so sad. It's so sad. And what makes I feel like this is the week that she's done with her NBC contract. Like there's only so like she was on contract, she got fired, but they have to pay her out. So sad.
Yeah. Getting in the garbage can isn't necessarily always a measure of being the most objectively horrible. That generally just gets you coverage on the show. Being this pathetic and self-serving and being willing to like imply that Trump spending an hour and a half just shouting conspiracy theories that he's heard on Fox News is well-mannered and presidential and should help him. Like, you are saying everyone should like support this, that like people do support this. This is a good thing. It's not something that a reporter or someone who claims to be a reporter should have a problem with. and you're doing all of that to get paid. That is pathetic, and Trashy will enjoy his meal this week. But what about you, Brett?
Mine is a guy running for Congress. His name's Madison Cawthorn. And it's not just auto. I mean, he looks like an auto-generated Hitler Youthy type, but he's also got the history to back it up. He is running for Congress, and he apparently put up a website to attack his opponent, whose name is Mo. I forget his last name. Anyway, so Mo Davis. He's attacking this guy Tom Fielder, who works for Mo Davis, and on the website, the attack website, it says, Tom Fielder, who works with Mo Davis's advocates, is working to tear down Madison Cawthorn. He quit his academia job in Boston to work for non-white males like Cory Booker, who aims to ruin white males running for office.
Wait, what? Where is that?
This is on motaxes.com, an attack site put up reportedly by the Madison Cawthorn campaign to attack someone who works for his opponent, saying the big attack line that this guy is working for non-white males. Can you believe it? This is a guy running for Congress. We're gonna do a pool during our election coverage where all the hosts, and we'll have a place for you to download it and play along with yourself, play with us, where you can fill out who you think's gonna win the congressional majority and all that stuff. But there's also prop bets, like how many QAnon Congress people will be in Congress. This is Madison Cawthorn, who has a past for stuff like this. So as Mediaite reports, based on a statement by his opponent, revelations about Madison Cawthorn's blatantly racist comment come days after 150 former classmates at Patrick Henry College, more than half the entire student body during his time there, signed a letter and posted it online calling Mr. Cawthorn a sexual predator who lied and vandalized property while attending the college for a little over a semester in 2016 to 2017. And according to the statement, the former classmates are now urging voters not to support his candidacy, and all of that follows earlier criticism about Madison Cawthorn's bucket list visit to Adolf Hitler's Eagle's Nest, where he reverentially referred to Hitler as the Führer, a pretty much seemingly literal Nazi type running for Congress and trying to attack his opponent by saying one of the people that's helping him had the audacity to work for non-white males. Insanity.
You win this week. That is more garbagey. Wow, I had not seen that. How do you convince more than half of your classmates to make an electoral thing out of how awful you are after one semester at a college? I didn't have a reputation after 5 years at UConn. He got it in a week and a half. Everyone's like, oh no, I heard about that guy. He's the worst. Literally don't go near him.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, well that was amazing. So those are our garbage people, but what about the Dragon Squad? 5.6 thousand of you voted at the community tab of our YouTube channel. And here is how the top 5 did. At 3%, Jeffrey Toobin, for you know why. 5% gave it to David Perdue for repeatedly mispronouncing Kamala Harris's name. A tie with 17% going to Dianne Feinstein for a complete lack of leadership with regard to Amy Coney Barrett, and Rudy Giuliani for being dumb enough to fall for Borat. And then 58% first place for Trump for many things, but specifically this week for attacking Fauci. Trump got it. Thank you to everybody who voted. That's the garbage. Trashy's gonna munch on that over the course of the weekend. But anyway, Brett, thank you so much. I know Happy Half Hour is coming up a little bit later on with you and Mark Thompson. Sounds like fun.
It will be. Thank you all for joining us, joining me, joining John. I love you very much.
Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.
Pass out. Bye.
Okay, have fun. And then let me just read a few comments. We are going very over, but let's see. Okay, Super Solutions, thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub over on Twitch. And Heinrich Zimmerman for subscribing for 3 months. Thank you. 58%. Heinrich said, "Hey John, you're 100% one of the best and inspiration of the 100% most devastating drinking game." Cheers for that from Scotland.
Got it.
Thank you, Heinrich, and thank you, Scotland. Trish says, if Gore was president, we would not be in this position today. I truly believe. Well, there would be a lot of things that I think would be much better off on. A lot of lives would have been saved.
Thank you.
Cabin Fever Mother Trucker on Twitch said, first time watching on Twitch, so excited. Brett and John, a great white boy combo. Thank you. That's what I aspire to be part of. Thank you. Josh Prime sent it a super chat saying, boys and girls of every age, wouldn't you like to see something strange? Come to this room and you will see Giuliani's ween. This is Rudy's ween. Everybody make a scene. Josh, I don't know about this poetry. It's making me very uncomfortable, but thank you. Forrest Dudley says it looks kind of necrotic, both medically speaking, also looking like the lich he is. Totally. Tone Stowers, this is about Mitch McConnell. Tone Stowers says it's called Sith sickness. Wow. Sharon says maybe McConnell put on the Horcrux ring from Harry Potter. That's actually what in one of my group DMs. That's what I said. As to the movie, Jennifer McIntosh says my husband and I watched it last night. It was hilarious. I am very much looking forward to it. I've heard it's very funny. Jacob Fergie says already saw Trump post how many times Trump was interrupted by the moderator compared to Biden. Apparently 111 versus 22 and criminally unfair. It seems complaining is contagious too. LOL. Exactly. And that sort of thing, that's what I love. It's this fake victimhood where Trump was he was silenced more because he interrupted more. Like they like to point out that Trump's tweets have been taken down by Twitter more than Biden's because he says more insane, dangerous things. Like that is not actually demonstrating what you think it's demonstrating, but for simple-minded people, it might be effective. Jenna Ayers says, where are Ivanka's trademarked voting machines? Trump is pushing vote in person, trying to toss mail-in ballots. Even in 60 minutes pre-release, he's very sure he's going to win. I'm scared he has it rigged. We'll see, we're watching. We've tried to do as much we can to get people aware of this. We will have to see. Hottie Meter just gifted 50 tier 1 subs over on Twitch. Hottie Meter, wow. Thank you so much for that. Damn, how does that not launch a hype train? I don't understand Twitch, but thank you, Hottie Meter, really appreciate that. Francisca Schreiber says, did you ever thought about the possibility that Trump's corona politics isn't a fail, but a plan that succeeded? I mean, most fatalities are poor or POC, right? I think that has played into why they don't care. Certainly, Jared Kushner, there were indications of that early on. AN says, I watch this show live every day and prefer it over the main show. Oh, that's controversial. John, you're awesome. Brett, you're hilarious. Love Happy Half Hour, especially when your wife is on with you. Aw, how sweet. And let's see, we might have to end it with this from Franklin Sharpslicer, who says, Happy Half Hour is best a bit crass. It's good to let loose and just scratch our hiney. Drink flammable liquids and toxic grasses, good for lads, great for lasses. Let's have fun from Wyoming. Franklin, thank you for that, that was fun. Anyway, thank you everybody who watched throughout the week. Next week is gonna be a big one. We actually will have, I have to be very vague about this. We will have, at least for the short term, someone who is going to be co-hosting the show for unfortunately the last time. It's gonna be a very special episode. You're not gonna wanna miss it. So tune in next week to find out who that is and why that is. I don't know when the news is gonna come out, so I'm just being extra careful. But anyway, a big week, a big lead up to the election week. So definitely tune in there. Also, tune in 30 minutes over on YouTube, Truth Serum, hosted by Ida Rodriguez. We're gonna be talking about the California ballot initiatives, and I'm gonna be giving a breakdown of how I'm gonna be voting and how perhaps you might want to. It should be a lot of fun. And with that, until next time, stay safe out there, stay sane out there. I'll see you soon.
Welcome to Channels Business Global with me, Juliana Olayinka, from our studios here in London. Over the next half an hour, we'll be looking beyond the business headlines by giving you in-depth perspective on the stories that are affecting all of us. Coming up on today's show, with just 10 weeks to go until the end of the transition period, Brexit talks between Brussels and Downing Street have once again entered an intensified phase. I'll be discussing the flashpoints of the week with our business correspondent Simon Pusey. And after recording growth of 4.9% in Q3, China is now leading the charge for the global economic recovery. I'll be discussing the geopolitical reactions with Jamil Ahmed, Director of Investment Strategy at NAGA. Then later, amidst the truly horrific depictions coming out of Nigeria this week, a history-making tech story almost went under the radar. Philanthropist and senior tech consultant Tommy Davies will be joining me to talk about Stripe's $200 million takeover of Nigeria's online payment processor Paystack. And to our first topic, Brexit. Talks between UK and EU Brexit negotiators entered an intensified phase on Thursday this week after Brussels said both sides would be required to compromise on trade issues. According to Britain's independent news publication, Michel Barnier, the EU's chief negotiator, offered an olive branch to his UK counterpart Lord Frost as the deadline for a deal looms. What we know so far is these renewed negotiations will take place in London between October the 22nd and October the 25th. Downing Street have warned that the no-deal trade scenario still could not be ruled out. The biggest point of contention is still post-Brexit fishing rights, with neither side confident of finding a route to a suitable compromise. Frustrated EU officials had this to say on the matter.
Time is very short, and we stand ready to negotiate 24/7 on all subjects based on legal text. So the UK has a big decision to make. It's their free and sovereign choice, and we will always respect them, whatever choice they make, but their sovereign answer will determine their level of access to our internal market. This is just common sense. We want a deal which is fair and balanced, but we are also ready in case of no deal. In June 2016, the United Kingdom took a democratic decision to leave the European Union. We respected this sovereign decision in 2016, and we respect sovereignty now, UK sovereignty now. Our UK friends say they want an ambitious and close relationship. We welcome this because we want the same. But the UK wants access to a single market, while at the same time being able to diverge from our standards and regulations when it suits them. On ne peut pas avoir le beurre, l'argent du beurre et le sourire de la crémière. You can't have your cake and eat it too. In fact, the United Kingdom now has an important choice to make about its own future. It's not about choosing a negotiation tactic. It's about choosing the model of society and the model of economy for their own future. Do our British friends want to regulate state aid? And do they want to maintain high standards in health, food security or climate in close relationship with Europe? If so, why not commit to them in our future agreement?
We had very intense, I have to add also constructive meeting with Chancellor Gove this morning. It was the fourth regular session of the Joint Committee, which I have to underscore once again is the body where we should resolve our differences, where we should look for the common solutions, and which is responsible for timely and proper implementation of the withdrawal agreement. So what we concluded this morning was that we are going to, I would say, redouble of our efforts and work for the solution. So we would have much higher frequency on debating outstanding issues linked with the protocol and with all the issues which the protocol is covering, and
my first time, but I'm not used to the mall. It's not my first time.
Yeah, it's my first time. Probably once or twice a month.
No, many times I come.
I came here many times and I like this mall.
This is my second time from Ajman.
It's really very nice, clean, hygiene, they maintain the standard, near to the sea.
First time, yes. Second time.
We are a regular customer of fish market. Every 2 weeks.
More than 50, 60 times. Fourth or fifth time.
Several times here. Weekly basis.
Every month, 2, 3, 4 times.
Yeah, first time I've ever come.
We came here like several times.
This is my first time here and I'm actually really impressed. I didn't realise it's as big as it is.
First experience, but inshallah will be not the last experience.
We've been here multiple times. It's really just, it has everything in it. So it's a destination for everything.
The prices are wow.
We are getting better price from here.
Price after about good.
Normally price.
You can bargain with them.
The price is affordable.
This is normal price for all people.
Good price and all variety from all items.
It's in the middle, everybody can buy.
بالنسبة حقيقة للأسعار يعني هي أسعار منافسة.
The prices are really good. One of the best in Dubai actually.
Pricing is perfect.
The prices are so affordable. It's flexible, yani flexibility for people.
Cheap and best.
For a middle class family, it's really reasonable. The prices are less and the fish is fresh.
It's really very, very good prices compared to outside.
The people who are selling their goods are very friendly. They greet us with a smile and they have a very good price as well.
Yeah, I recommend for everyone to come to visit this place and you will get everything. Butchery side, amazing. You're going vegetable side, it's amazing also. So we have here a lot of restaurants. You can visit over there. And if you come with family, it's wow, really.
Definitely it is a family environment kind of mall. I recommend everyone to come to visit here.
Something for everyone, all ages, all nationalities.
So you have to come and visit.
Definitely recommend it to anybody. It's clean, it's busy, but social distancing is in place.
I encourage all people, not only Emirati, all people around the world to come to visit. No, it's a very good mall.
Very clean. Very good because you have both of the dry goods, fresh and fish market is very big.
Bigger than airport.
For the ladies, this is excellent because everything is under one roof. All that we need is available here in the market. Everyone he should came here to get everything from here. Only 2-3 hours he will get everything what he needs.
Simply amazing. For vegetables, for poultry, for meat, you don't need to go other places. Everything is provided.
درجة وايد زين مول رقم واحد. والله it is very good.
The environment,
My impression for the second time here, it's perfect.
I really like it.
Smart shop.
والله it's a fantastic place.
The small number one.
Very nice.
ففي كل الأشياء في مكان واحد.
Waterfront is an amazing place and I'm sure you will be happy when you do shopping here.
أفضل المولات في الإمارات يعني.
My kids love this place.
Very good kids area and it's very fun. I love the mall.
There is also this doctor inside. If anything not in the good condition, you can review with the doctor. They will return for you and you are protected. Mall is amazing actually. Yeah. Fresh, cheap and best.
It has a good vibe.
All things is coming in one place.
Definitely, you will like it so much, and you will come again and again and again.
It's one of the best places to come here and buy.
Why I'm coming from GVC here because everything is fresh and reasonable price.
I buy from hypermarket, supermarket, anywhere, but I didn't feel this much freshness anywhere.
It's very surprising that the market is within a mall and it's very clean.
But there is other product which is you cannot see either in other mall, which is a special art here.
I feel like I'm in heaven.
Extraordinary.
was campaign manager in 2008 and also served in the Obama administration as a senior advisor to the president. He's a Biden supporter and NBC News analyst as well. David, what stood out tonight, and does the Biden campaign have something new to worry about tonight?
I don't think they have anything to worry about. I mean, I agree with Chuck. Maybe there's no more bleeding on the Trump side, but Trump's at a place where it's not just good enough to stop the bleeding. He's got to get people who are saying, you know what, I was leaning Biden, or I truly undecided, and now I'm voting for Trump. And my suspicion is they didn't see anything there that said, you know what, sign me up for another 4 years. I thought the most important part of the debate was the beginning of the debate, which is the issue on most people's mind, COVID. Donald Trump seemed most passionate in that debate, Lester, when he was attacking Joe Biden's family. Not when he was talking about COVID, not when he was talking about healthcare, not when he was talking about kids who've been separated from their family. So at the end of the day, in a race that you're leading, at the bare minimum, you want to leave it feeling like you didn't erode any support. And I don't think Joe Biden did that. And I agree with Chuck. I think part of Donald Trump's problem for his entire presidency is he's living in this Fox alternative version of reality, which there's a lot of intensity there, but that's like at most 30% of the country. And last time I checked, you need 50% of the vote to win the presidency.
All right, David, thanks.
Well, let's bring in radio talk show host Hugh Hewitt, an NBC News political analyst, president of the Richard Nixon Foundation, and a Trump supporter. Hugh, I want to hear what you thought about tonight's debate. It was a different Trump. To say it was better than the first debate maybe is setting the bar a little bit too low, but did you find yourself wishing you'd seen more of this version of President Trump along the way?
I also wish I'd seen, yes, Savannah, absolutely. I wish I'd seen more of this version of Joe Biden at the end. I will transition away from the oil industry. The sleeper moment in this debate came at the end when Joe Biden announced the shutting down of America's oil industry. And I believe that's going to be the soundbite that's going to travel. As I said before the debate, he had to talk to Pennsylvania, and the president did. He talked to Pennsylvania repeatedly about fracking. And we're going to see some fact checks on the vice president's record on fracking. But the oil industry, the return to the Paris Accords, that was an unforced error by Joe Biden that I think will resonate with a lot of middle Americans as being extreme. I also think the president was very effective when he spoke directly to the black community. By the way, our colleague Kristen Welker did very well tonight in maintaining pace and questions. I kind of feel vindicated when I told Mark Meadows yesterday she would do just that. She ran a marvelous ship, and it's a very difficult thing to do. And I do believe, though, he made some ground with the African-American community, and that Joe Biden got tripped up by Kristen on the crime bill, on the super predator stuff. Finally, although I was listening for the laptop and I heard the vice president open the door to an examination about it, it did not dominate the way I thought it would. This was just a very solid, substantive debate in which people, very few of whom changed their mind, but all of whom had their bias confirmation fed one way or the other.
That's very 2020 America, Hugh.
All right. We will take a quick break and be back with more reaction to tonight's debate and what it means as Donald Trump and Joe Biden now race to the finish line.
Hi, I'm Dr. Amy Killen. I have my own medical practice, and I've been using Doodly now for a few weeks to create these really fun videos to share with patients, prospective patients on social media.
Hi, I'm Brad Callen, and in this video, I'm going to show you how anyone can quickly and easily create doodle videos, just like the one you're watching right now, using Doodly, our drag and drop doodle software that allows anyone, regardless of tech skills, to create highly engaging professional doodle videos in a matter of minutes. Because doodle videos are fun and engaging, they can get you more clicks, likes, shares, and most importantly sales than any other type of video. Which is why Doodly is now the video tool of choice for over 150,000 businesses all over the world in virtually every industry and profession that you can imagine. Doodle videos are perfect for marketing, teaching, fundraising, personal use, and even inspiring others. After all, one of the keys to a successful video is to capture your audience's attention and keep it for an extended period of time. And since you're still watching this video, you already know how great doodle videos are at doing just that. Not only are doodle videos incredibly captivating, but research shows that they massively boost learning and memory retention. As a result, viewers really absorb your message, making your videos that much more impactful. And even better, doodle videos can make complex or boring subjects fun and easy to understand. So let me quickly show you how simple and easy Doodly makes it to create an interesting professional video. Alright, here I am inside the Doodly software, which is available for Mac and PC. you'll notice that you can choose the style of your video, selecting from whiteboard, blackboard, greenboard, glassboard, and for more advanced users, you can even use a green screen background, giving you lots of control over the video style. In this example, let's create a nice looking whiteboard doodle video. You'll notice that Doodly makes it super easy to create your own doodle videos with done-for-you scenes, hundreds of characters, a huge selection of props and images, royalty-free music, and even text. And for the ultimate in customization, you can even upload your own images, fonts, props, and music. Now to create a doodle video, it's really simple. First, I'll add a headline to get people's attention, then center it before adding a character. I like this one. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and add a prop too. I'll resize everything and voila, we have Steve reading a book on his chair. For the next slide, I'm going to do something a little different. Instead of adding a character or prop, I'm going to use one of Doodly's super convenient done-for-you scenes. So I'm going to simply drag and drop the scene I want right into my video. As you can see, Doodly is so easy to use that anyone can make doodle videos, even if they have zero tech or design skills. If you can click or drag your mouse, you can create a professional doodle video in a matter of minutes. Not only is creating a doodle video that simple, but we also have a bunch of really cool settings available too. Doodly allows you to customize your video with real hands, cartoon hands, or none at all, seeing transitions with even camera panning, and our smart erase mode to provide the realistic feel that you're looking for. And with just a couple of mouse clicks, you can also easily switch between different doodle video types at any moment. I'll change the doodle video I just created from whiteboard to blackboard in less than 5 seconds. Plus, you can even record a voiceover directly inside Doodly or add background music by simply choosing from our huge royalty-free music library. And of course, you have the option of uploading your own audio and image files as well. You can also select how long it takes the hand to draw something, so scenes, characters, and props are timed perfectly to your voiceover, should you choose to use one. Oh, and one more thing. When you upload your own image, using our enhanced Doodle Draw technology, you can make cool draw paths like this to teach Doodly exactly how you want to draw your imported images. And when you're done, you can preview your video before exporting it to a variety of formats, sizes, and qualities right to your computer, and you're ready to go. As you can see, doodle videos do an incredible job of educating, entertaining, and selling, making them one of the best investments you can make in your business. And that's especially true right now. The going rate for professional doodle video creation is anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 to have someone
for anything, but would rather say, look at your children. Look at your children. Look at your children. Even when he felt as if, oh, he was tired. A week to when he actually passed, he had called her and said to her, my wife, let me ask you for something. And she said, what? He said, find it in your heart to forgive me. All the mistakes I made. You are a good woman, and you've given me good children. I had no reason whatsoever, according to his words, entering the bush and coming out to the road and going back into mud. You know, when a man says that, it means he's been through all odds, you know.
Those are words of inspiration.
Yes.
Well, we will just cast you away to an island,
okay.
You know, and as casting you away to an island, you require 5 things, you know, to take along with you. 5 things you will pick in a hurry, but you cannot do without for those 10 days you're going to be in the island there. What will they be?
Now that I'm retired, maybe I would say, okay, phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to reach out to family and friends, to reassure them I'm alive. My Bible.
Okay.
Right?
Are you a Christian?
Yes, of course. I don't have to carry it on my face because
God-fearing.
Very much so.
Water drinking.
I would also carry some water. Okay, island, I don't need water because of course there's water, right? What else? What won't I be able to do without? Maybe some food, right?
Do you eat a lot? Are you the eating type? Are you the food person?
Not exactly, but a chocolatey person.
Really?
Yes.
And then
I love chocolates. You
do?
Yes, I do.
Wow, that's I remember that on your birthday. Now, what else?
I have said my Bible, my phone, right? A bit of chocolate, a diary.
Okay.
You know, just to take note of everything. My father taught me to take note, to keep notes, keep records of happenings.
The last one.
I keep that to myself, so somebody doesn't use it against me one day.
That's your attitude in security, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, it's been fun, Marilyn, talking to you. Do you have a message for the protesters?
Yeah, I just want them to take it a little bit easy. You know, most times, you know, class issues, there's some people who don't even know the reason why they're protesting, right? But then they need a little bit of excitement. And so because of the lockdown, a lot of people are coming onto the streets and seeing it as an opportunity to be able to vent their anger, but don't really know the real reason. For those ones, they have to be very careful. And for the people in position of authority, for heaven's sake, train a security man. One-time training, it's not enough, right? For police people, security operators carrying arms, a little medical checks here and there would do, reduce their level of stress, make them a little bit more comfortable, treat them as human beings, and expect the best from them. Don't treat them as animals. When you treat them as animals, the only other way they will want to vent their anger will be on the ordinary citizens.
Is it the same you're saying to the DSS?
For all security and intelligence outfit.
Thank you.
Thank you very
It's been Marilyn Oga on The Chat this week. I am Manny. See you next time. The Chat is produced by Channels Television. You can watch it again online. Just visit our social media platforms: Twitter, YouTube, Facebook.
Hello everyone, welcome to News Track. I'm Ijoma Onyato. Let's take a look at the stories we're tracking right now. The president has met with former heads of state to find ways of resolving the issues surrounding the NSAS unrest in most states. President Muhammadu Buhari convened a virtual meeting with the leaders and some of his aides and the vice president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Those who participated virtually from their homes include Generals Yakubu Gowon, Olusegun Obasanjo, Ibrahim Babangida, and Abdul Salami Abubakar. Others are Dr. Goodluck Jonathan and Chief Ernest Shonekon. Those physically present at the council chambers with the president include the Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, and the Chief of Staff to the President, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, as well as the National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Monguno. During the meeting, the president recounted the initial concessions made by his administration on the demands of the youths, particularly the disbanding of the SARS force.
Your Excellencies, the mayhem has not stopped. Throughout the disturbances, security agencies observed extreme restraint. Yesterday, I chaired a meeting of the Security Council where the issue was thoroughly discussed. It is unfortunate that the initial genuine and well-intended protest of the youth in the parts of the country against SARS has been hijacked and misdirected. As Your Excellencies will acknowledge, government will not fold its arms and allow miscreants and criminals to continue to perpetrate these acts of hooliganism. As I said in my speech to the nation yesterday, we will continue to improve good governance through our democratic process, including through sustained engagement. We shall also continue to ensure that liberty and freedom, as well as the fundamental rights of all citizens, are protected. Here, I want to also reaffirm our commitment to preserving the unity of this country. Let me assure Your Excellencies that the welfare and well-being of the citizens, in particular our youth, are a top priority of this administration. Once again, I thank you and look forward to your valuable advice.
The Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says he's deeply pained by the level of damage done by hoodlums to government and private infrastructure in the state in the past few days. The governor said this after embarking on an extensive tour of the state to ascertain the level of destruction during the NSAS protests in Lagos. The tour took him to the BRT terminal, vehicle inspection office, the Oba's Palace, and the High Court, among others, where massive destruction was recorded. Later, at a briefing at the State House in Marina, the governor spoke about what he discovered during the tour.
We went to the hospitals. We've lost people in several parts of the city. But we went to the hospitals that had direct relative. We've decided that we're going to be easing the curfew from tomorrow morning. And so what that easing means is people will be allowed to go. We went to the hospitals. We've lost people in several parts of the city. But we went to the hospitals that had direct relative to what happened on Tuesday. And you all heard live on camera that we do not have any patient on admission at the Reddington Hospital at Lekki. But I'm aware that there are still 2 patients at their head office annex, or at their head office in Victoria Island. And the 2 patients are doing very well and they're responding very well. You were also with us when we went to the General Hospital, where the Chief Medical Director explained to us all of the numbers they've had in the last 4 days. And he did mention clearly to us that regarding what happened on Tuesday night, that everybody has been discharged except for 4 that have been transferred, to the wards. And 2 of them, I'm aware, are on POP, which is called Plaster of Paris. And he confirmed to us that they're doing very well and there is no problem at all. We also have a patient at Lasut, who I'm also aware that is recovering very, very well. In all of the private hospitals and of course the government hospitals, we have indicated that government will be picking the medical bills of all wounded, injured patients for all of the things that have happened in the whole city. If you had appeared at any of our general hospitals, nobody is meant to pay anything, so that we can quickly push all of our consumables and rescue lives, to the largest extent.
The governor also announced the easing of the curfew in the state.
We've decided that we're going to be easing the curfew from tomorrow morning. And so what that easing means is people will be allowed to go out from 8 a.m. in the morning till 6 p.m. in the evening. For emphasis, from 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, you will be allowed to go out, to go to wherever you wish, till 6 p.m. in the evening. We have also commenced the cleanup of the city, because the city needs a whole lot of cleanup, a whole lot of roadblocks, tires burnt on the road. And so Loma, like you've seen, are out already, and so they'll be working all throughout the night. But in the event that they do not finish, I want to admonish and appeal to motorists and our citizens to be careful on the road. Please, if you do not need to go out, please stay at home. But if you must and you have to go out, please drive with a lot of caution, because there's still a lot of barricades, there's still a lot of burnt tires that will have broken bottles and broken things here and there. So please be careful while you're on the road. We will try and clean up the city overnight. They are out already. We've pushed all of the men and women of Loma. They are out already doing the cleaning. But in the event that they do not have the capacity to clean it up fully overnight, I'm just advising all of us to just drive cautiously. We will look at the curfew on Saturday and Sunday, and we'll come back to you what will happen in the days, Mondays and Tuesdays and into the week.
Now, while the NSAS protest lasted, the Lekki Toll Plaza was a major converging point for the protesters. Our correspondent, Olu Phillips, has been monitoring the latest developments in that area and brings us this update.
Still speaking to you from Ground Zero, where it all started some days back. So we've seen a series of activity from the time when the music bled from this same sport, where speeches were made from this same sport, where chantings were made from this same sport, where demands were made from this same sport. Remember the 5 for 5, until it culminated into what a lot of people are not very proud of, the shootings, which is yet to be brought to logical conclusion in terms of who did what. That aside, today we're back here at what we could call the Ground Zero, where it all started, and we have a different type of activity going on. We have the Lagos State Waste Management already trying to clean up what is left of the debris and the waste and all of the litters around here after calm seem to have returned here, some relative calm. We have the trucks from the Loma officials, we have policemen and security officers from the NSCDC also stationed here. Somewhere behind me is an anti-riot tank that is situated here. just to make sure that the calm that has returned here will remain, and probably we all return to daily lives. And this is the situation around here. I can report to you here from the toll gate, Lekki Plaza toll gate, that there are still security operatives still situated here, making sure that the peace and the calm that has returned in the last 24 hours or plus remains so, and there are no persons still protesting by way of what happened here before now. From the Lekki Toll Plaza, Olu Phillips for Channels Television News.
We still have reactions to what's been going on in the last couple of weeks, and we'll tell you what they are when we come back.
Don't take pride in living in the dark. Get Genex Solar. Light up your world with Genex Solar Power. Genex Solar Power comes in quality range of products. Visit www.genextechnologies.com. Genex, next generation energy solar power.
Smartphone Network.
Quality wire, and quality cables. Quality cables. Quality wire, quality cables. Coleman will light up your life, brother, sister. Coleman, original quality wire. Wait there, can't pay. Cable for any type of project. Light up your life, light up your house. Light up your life, Coleman, who be the master for cable? Coleman, who be the master for wire? Coleman, original quality cable. When you feature for any kind of project, Coleman, original quality, durable, trustable, Coleman.
Oh, guys, see you're impressed with this transformation. With Credit Villa, I got a loan to renovate my shop in such a short while.
My sister, dreams do come true. That was how I got the loan that helped my daughter pursue her dream of becoming a medical doctor. All thanks to Creditville.
It's even so much easier for a salary earner like me.
You can get up to 4 million naira in 4 hours. Creditville, making dreams come true.
Our website, channelstv.com,